Welcome to Cleo's Collection. I'm Cleo, and I'm so glad you're here to join me today. Today, we're diving into the world of graphic novels again and counting down the 5 best rated comics of all time. These titles have left an indelible mark on the comic book landscape, and if you haven't experienced them yet, you're in for a treat. At number 1, we have Watchmen by Alan Moore and David Gibbons. This masterpiece redefined comics with its intricate storytelling, complex characters, and exploration of power and morality in an alternative reality. Watchmen is considered the greatest comic graphic novel of all time because of its groundbreaking storytelling and its commentary on the superhero genre. It was first published in 1986. The story explores the lives of a group of superheroes in an alternative universe where superheroes exist but are not universally beloved by the public. The characters are complex and nuanced as the story explores themes of power, morality, and the consequences of using that power. Additionally, the comic's use of non-linear storytelling, symbolism, and motifs has been praised for its sophistication and depth. It's been said that Watchmen is a deconstruction of the superhero genre and a commentary of a role of powers in society. Taking the second spot is The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. This gritty tale revitalized Batman, offering a darker, more mature portrayal of the Caped Crusaders' return to crime fighting. This is arguably the best Batman story, and Frank Miller found a way to tell it twice. Once The Dark Knight Returns in 1986, and again the following year in Batman Year One. In those 2 books, he's able to repackage the original story and also gives the character an endpoint. The impact of it all is so strong, it's now impossible to avoid, and even harder to deviate from when dealing with the character. Miller's story stays within the basic superhero parameters, but his shift in tone with the character is unique and has a deep impact for medium of action-adventure comics. One of Miller's strengths is his use of inner monologues in action scenes and internal play-by-play from protagonists when put in high-stress situations. Seen from the outside, heroes in comics are mostly showcasing control, power, and dominance. It's interesting to see Miller pull the character back and explore a more nuanced inner process, full of self-doubt, fear, and vulnerability. It also works both ways. We see how afraid the character is, but also what kind of psychological headspace he needs to get himself in when dealing with certain situations. The beast comes out and we get an uncensored view of his brutality and method. In third place, we have Moss by Art Spiegelman. This groundbreaking work uses anthropomorphic animals to tell a deeply moving story about the Holocaust, creating a poignant and unforgettable narrative. Through its heartbreaking and powerful story of a Holocaust survivor, Spiegelman was able to craft a narrative that transcends the genre and captivated readers. Moss is an autobiographical novel based on the stories told by Spiegelman by his father about his life in Poland and his experiences during the Holocaust of World War II. The art style is incredibly unique because it was based on influences from greats like Will Eisner and the woodcut novels. The minimalistic style, contrasting the heavy story combined with a strong text, gave readers an experience unlike any other, earning a Pulitzer Prize along the way. At number 4, Sandman by Neil Gaiman offers a mesmerizing blend of mythological fantasy and horror. Its dreamlike storytelling and richly woven tales have made it a true gem in the world of comics. Even if The Sandman had been a novel, it still would have been appealing to many fantasy fans thanks to Neil Gaiman's elegant and resonating writing. Whether it be the narrative or the dialogue, his words possess an almost lyrical quality to them and sweeps the reader right into their story. Some of the lines are highly quotable. In The Sandman number 4, Morpheus escapes the demons of hell by asking them, what power would hell have if those imprisoned were not able to dream of heaven? And finally, rounding out our top 5 is Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt by J.M. DeMatteis and Mike Zeck. This quintessential Spider-Man story delves into psychological depths, exploring the challenges Peter Parker faces as he confronts his own morality. Kraven's Last Hunt takes a deep look into the relationship between Spider-Man and one of his more obscure villains, Sergei Kravinoff, more commonly known by his alias Kraven the Hunter. In this story, Kraven decides to end Spider-Man once. A typical Spider-Man story would start with him swinging through the skyscrapers of New York, but from the get-go, we're introduced to an inner monologue from none other than Kraven himself. This puts the reader in a different frame of mind than what they usually expect from the Spider-Man comic. The opening monologue not only takes us through the villain's mind, but also gives him a new dimension rarely afforded to Spider-Man villain. This comic is important because of its value not only as good entertainment, but for its literary merit. Kraven's Last Hunt poses deep, thought-provoking questions about relationship, love, and even the nature of sanity itself. Without the success of this comic, other comics addressing similar themes might not have taken flight. These are the 5 best rated comics of all time. If you're looking for a thought-provoking narratives, rich character development, and unforgettable storytelling, these titles are a must-read for any comic enthusiast. Which of these top-rated comics have you read? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for joining me today. Leave a comment on what you would like to see next, and remember to stay tuned for the new episode of Cleo's Collection next week.